Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Canada Day edition, free agent frenzy. My name is Rev Trev. This is Kempner Canucks, and today we're all Canucks, right? Happy Canada Day to every single one that's watching this video. So glad that you're here. If you haven't hit that like or subscribe button, hey, why don't you do the hat trick today, okay? Watch this. Comment on this video and subscribe. Do the Rev Trev hat trick. I'd really appreciate it. Today, I want to talk to you about big moves that Vancouver Canucks did in free agency. And some of you are like, Trev, what do you mean big moves? Are you kidding me? Like, these are small moves. Well, for the Canucks, they're actually big moves because we have 2 Stanley Cup champions that we just signed and one kid, well, man, who is 6'5", 210 pounds. I'm telling you, they're big moves, okay? Now, I'll tell you why these are big moves. Also, is because we took OEL's, well, I shouldn't say we, Patrick Allvin and his staff took OEL's massive $7.25 million contract. $1 million of that was getting paid out by Arizona Coyotes, okay? And took that, bought it out, big, huge chunk of change, right? And they signed 3 players for $8 million. I think they did a great job right there alone, hands down alone. Now, we've improved our penalty kill, which was absolutely atrocious in Vancouver, so I'm very, very happy about that. We made our defense much better. Not only just getting rid of OEL because he's been injured and has not played well in Vancouver yet, but now just improving it solidly. And because those long-term contracts are killers. And speaking of which, 2 of these contracts are only 1-year deals. Gives us lots of flexibility. There's a lot of salaries coming off the books next year, so this is good news. And to see how they do in Vancouver. Now, maybe the biggest move was what we didn't do. We didn't trade JT Miller, which I've been saying for over a year that he's a core player. It's part of the plan that they'd chosen JT over Bo. And that's what they had done. And so that's why today it's big moves, people, in free agency for us. Okay, so let's quickly talk about a few of these players. Ian Cole, a 1-year deal, $3 million. He's the oldest of the group, 34 years old, okay? But he's 6'1". Oh, he's a left-handed shot defenseman. He has a big shot, 6'1", 225. I mean, solid guy from the United States. Won 2 Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh. Played the 3rd highest minutes for the Tampa Bay Lightning on their D-core this year, which that is very, very promising. He was drafted 18th overall by the St. Louis Blues in 2007, and so in that first round. So that is pretty cool. Now, he has signed, let's get this, 7 contracts in his career worth a total value of $33.5 million. So that's pretty good. So he's coming on to help strengthen our blue line. And then we got Teddy Blueger, 1-year deal again, $1.9 million. Awesome that it's under $2 million. 28 years old, a center. We're hoping that he's going to fill that 3rd center position for us. But he was picked. Oh no, I should let you know he's left-handed. He's 6 foot. He's 185 pounds from Latvia. So he's going to be really happy to hang out with one of our goalies, our future goalies that we've been just pumped about. So drafted 2012 to Pittsburgh, 2nd round pick that's panned out for them. Well, I guess if you're an NHLer and that's panned out, but 22nd overall on the 2nd round, but 52nd overall total. So traded at the deadline for a 3rd round pick in 2024. He went from Pittsburgh to Vegas and wins a Stanley Cup. Now he's a two-way player with PK experience. I'm excited that he brings not only Stanley Cup experience, but just a hard-working guy who's going to bolster our penalty kill. And so, but then after those two signings came in, and we signed this monster of a guy, 6'5", Carson Soucy, 3 years, $3.25 million a year. And that is actually the significant part. So, when you're buying jerseys, you don't want to buy jerseys of guys who have 1 year left or 2 years left or only signed for a year or two. You want to buy jerseys where guys are going to, like, you might want to get a JT Miller jersey right now. The guy has played for a number of years for us, plus he's just signed that 8-year deal. So, but Soucy's 3 years, I'm excited about him for 3 years. He's 28 years old, left-handed shot defenseman, and I believe that he can also play right as well. I believe it's him or Cole that can do that. But he's 6'5", 210 pounds, Canadian boy, and he was drafted by Minnesota in the 5th round. So they got a gem in the 5th, 137th overall. And Soucy had himself a nice season, 78 games, 3 goals, 13 assists. That's not the greatest part, but he had 143 hits. Now, that sounds like a lot. It's good. It's not great. Luke Shen, by the way, congratulations on that massive deal with Nashville. That's so cool. Well done. 318 hits, and he led the league in that. Now, Soucy had 96 block shots on 68 penalty minutes. And so, now, here's the thing. I want to post this because I don't know how copyright goes. I just want to post these videos in my video. But I've been watching some Soucy highlights, and this guy, when he hits, it's like, when Tom Wilson hits, like, just levels guys. That's I'm not saying he's good as Tom Wilson, but what I'm saying is it just reminds me of some of these massive hits that he had. There's these 2 hits. I'm going to put it in the comments or in the description because they're so awesome. The one hit is just incredible. The second one is from January 1st, 2022, and he, at the center of ice, levels Connor Garland. Wow, like big time, drops the gloves, Tanner Pearson rings the bell, and they get in a fight. It's pretty cool. So I think he's going to these guys are bringing toughness, they're bringing grit, things that the Canucks need. So let's look quickly at Hughes and Cole. Will he play with Hughes or will Soucy? But it's going to be some form of, these are our top 4. Hughes, Cole, Soucy, and Hronek. And then you have Myers on the 3rd line with Rosé, Juleson, someone along those lines, Olanin. I'm not really sure who that 6th player will be. Now, we did sign Tristan Nielsen as well on a 2-year entry-level contract for 1 year, $870,000 per season. I want to show you this graphic before we end this video. This is what our Canucks look like financially, okay? Now, you might find this super interesting, but this is how we're spending our money. And what I like is the shift, okay? What we used to be is the team that paid our bottom 6 forwards the most amount of money in the league. And then we shifted to paying our defense the most amount of money in the league, basically, with OEL and Myers and all that stuff. But look at how it's shifted, okay? Thatcher Demko, $5 million. Spencer Martin is our backup, making under $1 million. You got Hughes, Myers, Hronek, Soucy, and Cole. They're making decent money now. I mean, Myers is overpaid, but that's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. But these other contracts are low, which is great. Then you look at our forward group, and now our top 6 players have become our highest paid players, because that's what you want to spend money on your stars, right? So Kuzmenko, Miller, Brock Besser, Pettersson. We know Pettersson's going to get a massive raise coming up. Garland, Mikheyev, Anthony Beauvillier's on a good contract. Look at Blueger is there, only 1.9. You got Podkolzin. PDG is under $1 million. All these other guys are under $1 million. So this is actually great news for Vancouver. This is incredible. I'm really excited about these things. I think they're big moves for Vancouver. Now, I know we didn't do the splash. We didn't go get Duchesne. We didn't get Ryan O'Reilly. But in all honesty, we couldn't really afford those guys. Or we couldn't get Orlov. All those are way too out of our price range. So I think Alvin did a great job. I'm excited to see what this team's going to look like because we got to be competitive. We're in a very, very difficult group of division, and to try to make the playoffs is very difficult for us. So we need to put our best foot forward, and I like how we spent our money. I'd love to know what you think. Again, do the Rev Trev hat trick. Thanks for watching. Put a comment and please subscribe. And of course, always, Happy Canada Day and go Canucks, go!